Howdy y'all. Today on the Welding channel we're talking about pallets. Let's get to it. Alrighty, so what do pallets really have to do with our welding equipment? What I do when I need something to keep something off the ground, I'll go and find surplus pallets. I live in Los Angeles, so there's plenty of industrial areas that they just throw pallets out their back warehouse doors. They'll throw it out by the side of their dumpsters. They're throwing them out. But you do have to be careful if you're gonna go scrounge around like I do for these. There are certain areas that they keep them to be picked up. So it's still their property, it's not being thrown out. So you have to be very careful. If you're in doubt, go ask the folks that are throwing them out. If you know when they're throwing out their pellets and whatnot, you can go see if they're gonna be scrapped or if they're gonna be reused by the company or sent back to a palleting company to be fixed. But I know some of the areas that I live in, with the industrial areas, it has a lot of pallets that are just being thrown out here in Los Angeles. So I pick them up. I have multiple uses for them other than welding, but for welding stuff, I'll put machines on it. I'll put tools and stuff on it. I'll put just anything and everything on these, keep them off the ground, whether it be in a garage, whether it be outside. Then I can put a tarp on it. So if it's raining and I put a tarp over all my stuff, there's still airflow. It's not gonna get moldy. As y'all know, pallets, they have a little bit of airflow through them. But there's different pallets you can find. There's some that are huge that I'll pick up in the truck and they'll be taking up the entire bed. Others you can get over a dozen in there without really have to tie any down because they fit in there so snugly. And I just really like picking up pallets. Again, I have other uses for them other than just putting welding equipment on. But if y'all are worried about storage in a garage and it's being on the ground, it can get wet with rain coming through a wall or dripping down through the ceiling. It's going to touch all your equipment, or if it backflows from the driveway into a garage. These are great. I love them. And if they rot, oh well, they're already trash for someone else. I can cut it up, throw it out, or just put it out on the street here in Los Angeles. Someone else is going to take it. So I'm not worried about them getting torn up unless there's a really good pallet. What I'll do then is I have another stack of pallets currently, and I'm going to go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy wheels with casters on them. So that way I'll attach the wheels onto these pieces, and then I essentially have dollies that I don't have to go anywhere to go buy. I just get the wheels, screw them in, and I'm good to go. If you even go to Harbor Freight to get the cheap little dolly things, they're not the cheapest in the world compared to just getting some casters put on here. Then you have a welding machine that you can move anywhere in your shop as long as your pallet can make it there. Sliding on the ground with the wheels. So I like doing that. I have woodworking equipment that I do that with too. So I can put a table saw if I have a big enough pallet, band saws, sanders, lathes, anything can work. Once it gets too heavy, you want to know whether there's enough support in the pallets. Sometimes if they're throwing them out, they don't have enough support in the center or the side, it's not enough. So you have to be diligent and careful about that. But if y'all are looking for free stuff, I would recommend going to an industrial complex. If you're more in a rural area, companies there still need to bring stuff in by pallet. If they're not taking the time to spend money to send it back or do anything, they'll throw them out by a dumpster. I've gone through the alleyways of small towns and there's pallets just sitting by the dumpster ready to be thrown. So if you're in a rural area, you can look for that. If you're in a major city such as I am in Los Angeles, you just go through Los Angeles, there's pallets everywhere. And the alleyways ready to be just trashed. They're not even going to be recycled to be reused as a pallet. They work great. So that's just a little helpful tip of the day. Hope you all find that useful. Again, you got to look around. It's sometimes hard to find. You go into industrial areas and you just got to go through alleyways, lots of alleyways. That's what I do. And I've found really good pallets, amazing pallets, and they're just huge to where it barely fits in a pickup truck, full-size pickup. And I've been able to utilize them very well. So again, hope that's helpful, and I'll see y'all in the next video.